please welcome the one, the only, Iliza Shlesinger!
Tonight for me and for showing up for these comics. I love LA. I love being a comic in LA. I think things have gotten very difficult here, and people always criticize LA, you know, like LA, oh, the traffic. And I'm not gonna do a bit about traffic. I'm gonna reveal the matrix here, because we have a homeless problem that no one's allowed to talk about. And I never want to make fun of the homeless. I never want to make fun of someone who's disadvantaged, but I want to talk about the fact that the homeless cause 99% of the traffic in LA. And nobody wants to admit it. They're like, no, we don't have the infrastructure. We do. And we have the perfect amount of people, okay? Because 50% of us moved to Austin for tax purposes. Yeah. And a lot of us died. So there's the perfect amount of people. But we're always stuck in traffic, and you know why. Every single person in this room, in this magenta discotheque, has been sitting at a light at some point. You're sitting at a light, and you're watching a homeless person who has no urban etiquette. They don't care when they cross, how they cross. You're just sitting there, lights green, you're watching the hours of your life tick away as some homeless person is just like freestyle walking, like through the intersection. You're like, I'm not gonna kill you, just go! He's putting down a twister mat, just like, please. It's happened to everyone in this room. You've been sitting at a light, and it's a green light to turn left, and the guy in front of you doesn't go. And you're like, go! Why are you going? Why isn't he going? And then you see an extra from Thriller just like poke out. I'm 38, I know the whole dance. See, we talked about it, wasn't so bad. I like living in LA. People, when you say LA, they're always like, no, you're from LA. You know what I think, just between us? Other cities are jealous. Yeah, trends start here, for the most part. Surf culture, a lot of food culture, East Coast, West Coast rap. I think we invented rap on the West Coast. I don't know. I'm also not the authority on that. I posit. I think people are jealous of Los Angeles. I think they hate us because they ain't us. Yeah. You want to know why? Because Los Angeles, as a city, we are good looking, but like a little stupid. Only good-looking people that are stupid cheer for themselves for being good-looking. I was like, we're good-looking. She's like, we did it. Good-looking. But isn't that the way you would want to go through life if you had your druthers? You're not a real Los Angelino unless your goal is to be like optimal hot and just like what's going on. Wouldn't that be the best? To walk through life structurally perfect and just like doors just keep opening. Isn't we all want it. Every girl's like, no, personality, feminism. No, just hot, just stupid. Wouldn't that be the best? Every city sweats us. We don't sweat any other city. The only city we sweat is New York. We love New York. Yeah, you could cheer for it. New York loathes us. Every Los Angelino has taken that picture out of the plane on your way to New York, right? And you're like, LAX to JFK, here I go. Oh, I'm bi-coastal. You're not. You're bi-curious. It's totally different. It also, you're not bi-coastal because you live here, but your parents live in New Jersey. It doesn't make you bi-coastal. Every Los Angelino is like, headed to New York. No New Yorker has ever posted like, Newark to LA, can't wait. They never do. We're like, I'm headed to the East Coast. New Yorkers are like, oh, I gotta go to LA this weekend. Let's get this show started, Los Angeles. So this comic coming to the stage, I was in Nashville, and I was bouncing around, dropping into some shows, and I got to see this woman's set, and I was like, this girl's so funny, I wish I could take her home with me, and I went up and I talked to her after, and she was like, I'm just visiting Nashville, I live in LA too. She's funny, she's smart. Put your hands together for one of my favorites, Laura Peek!
Crowd in the world. This feels amazing. I love doing stand-up comedy, okay? I love it so much. I love everything about doing stand-up comedy. I like the bad parts of doing stand-up. I like staying in the worst hotels I've ever seen in my entire life. Your Days Inns, okay? Your Quality Inns. Anybody familiar? No? All rich as hell? Okay, cool. That's good. Have you ever walked into a Quality Inn and you're just like, honestly, I would have gone for quantity at this point. You guys really messed up the quality part, if I'm being honest. I stayed at a Days Inn in Southwest Arkansas recently, not to flex on you guys. Do not want to brag. That had a loofah in the shower. How do we feel about that? Would you use a Days Inn loofah? No. Okay. So I didn't think that I would either. It was a long day on the road. I was feeling grimy. I used it, okay? I exfoliated. It was 6 or 7 minutes. I washed myself like a woman in a movie who was trying to forget a memory. Do you know what I mean? It was deep. It was severe. The next day I went to check out and the guy was like, how was your stay? I was like, I really like the loofah. I think it's a nice touch. And he, of course, said, what loofah? I loved being in the South, though I'm from the South. Like Iliza said, I'm from Nashville. I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. My first working years of my life, from the time I was 15 until I was 47 years old, I worked at a water park in Nashville, Tennessee called Nashville Shores Water Park. It's the home of water, sun, and family fun. If you haven't heard about it. I learned a lot of very important lessons from working at a water park. I do want to share some of them with you now. Okay, number one, there is no right or wrong response to being called a bitch by a guy who is both soaking wet and eating a corn dog, okay? That's not even a real person. Gloves are off, okay? You can say whatever you want to that guy. Number two, if you're ever checking bags at a water park and you find a big old bag of weed, you just get to have that now. That's just yours. There's no step two. Just get high, you know? Have a great summer. Hags, girl. Hags it up. Number three, and I think maybe most importantly, if you think that someone might be a little bit too fat to fit into an enclosed water slide, it is cool if you just let them figure that out on their own, okay? Do not call them out. They'll call you a bitch while they eat a corn dog. They do it every time. Literally every time. I will never forget the day at that job that my boss told me to be sure to confiscate any guns that I found. He said, be sure to snatch up any handguns you find. I am still laughing thinking about what teenager making $6.25 an hour is taking a handgun from the kind of guy that brings a gun to a water park, okay? Can you imagine trying to take a gun from a water park guy and it going well? Just be like, sir, I'm gonna have to confiscate that. He's just like, oh my God. Egg on my face. I didn't read the rules. Of course. No, he's gonna shoot you, okay? Been trying to get hot again lately. We all relate to that. Back in the world trying to get hot. Just chasing that dragon, you know what I mean? It never happens. I've been talking to my girlfriends about it. All my girlfriends talk to me about getting hit on at the gym. They all get leered at and hit on at the gym. Never happened to me once in my entire life, all right? Don't fucking laugh that hard, okay. I don't think I'm what gym guys have in mind, you know? I think they see a girl with a high ponytail and a good butt doing squats and they're just like, oh yeah. That's the stuff daddy likes or whatever. I don't know what the vernacular is in 2021. Is it still daddy-likey? That feels outdated. And then they see me sweating on a treadmill and they're just like, well, you know, good for her. Good for her. She's making some changes. Can all agree it was time. I love talking to my fit friends when I start exercising because they give the dumbest advice I've ever heard in my entire life. I was talking to like a buff guy friend of mine recently, and he goes, Laura, you know, a lot of women, when they start working out, they're afraid that they're gonna get too muscular. He goes, I wouldn't worry about that if I was you. I was like, yeah, no shit, okay, I wasn't going to. I've got a lot of weird fears. Accidentally getting ripped, never been at the top of my list. Just wake up one day like, what am I gonna do with these washboard abs? I look like an idiot. Everybody's gonna make fun of my perfect little ass. Absolutely has never happened. This same man in conversation with me said what I think has to be the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. He said, Laura, I am so jealous that women get to look so beautiful when they orgasm. I was like, my guy, those ladies they're not coming. They simply aren't, okay? I look insane when I have an orgasm. I look like your dad trying to start a very old lawnmower, you know? Let's get some friction on it, you know? I look like one of those videos of a super jacked lady trying to squash a watermelon between her thighs. It's like intense concentration, one beat of like anime sweat coming down. And then just Gallagher, you know what I mean? Watch out, front row. She knew what she was getting into. Splash zone for the evening. I started taking an antidepressant during the pandemic. Yeah, thank you. Two people who quietly care about my mental health. Started taking an antidepressant. It's worked so well for me. If you feel like you need to do it, okay, please do. It's working very well. It is, however, messing with my stomach in a way that I cannot even describe to you. I went to my doctor to tell her about it, and she said to me, and I quote, diarrhea is a small price to pay for happiness. I was like, is that from something? Is that a poem? That's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. You're an artist. She told me that it might affect my sex drive. She said it might lower my sex drive to start taking an antidepressant. Not true at all, okay? Hornier than I've ever been in my entire life. Turns out nothing makes me hornier than not wanting to kill myself. Who knew? I'm horny for life again, you know? Who is that a deal breaker for? Who is not taking an antidepressant that they really need because they might be a little bit less turned on? Just like, yeah, I can't sleep, I can't eat, and I can't get out of bed. I just love how horny I am now. It's definitely not weird that I'm this horny under these circumstances right now. Why don't you kick those empty pizza boxes out of the way, lay down in this clean clothes pile on my bed, and make love to me before I kill myself? Speaking of being insanely horny, does anyone in this room like to 69? I look over, she's just actively doing it right now. Just like, I like it, okay. I do not like it, okay? I've never liked it, mostly because guys always make me be on the bottom. It's just kind of uncomfortable, you know what I mean? Our safe word is just, that's it. All right, thank you guys so much. Keep it going for everyone you see.
I've known this comic for a couple of years. I only recently got to see one of his sets. He is specific, he is funny, he is personal. Put your hands together for the hilarious Steve Furey.
How we doing, Los Angeles? Feels good. I always wanted to do comedy in Tony Montana's Powder Room. Anyone else? Feels good. I don't know. Happy to get out of the house. You know, I've been getting depressed. Anyone else get depressed? I get depressed. Every time I get depressed, what I like to do is smoke a little weed and watch shark videos on YouTube. You know? It's my Wellbutrin, my Xanax gets me through the day. I like it because you get to learn something. You can't be sad if you're learning something. I learned that for scientists to know more about sharks, what they do is they cut them open and look what they've been eating. I thought that was pretty cool. Just hope they don't do that to me when I die. So I think it'd be a gross misrepresentation of who I was as a man. I just see them and be like, we found this body here, and as you can tell from his diet of gummy bears, hot Cheetos, and Little Caesars pizzas, This is a homeless 8-year-old boy. Very sad. Very sad. I love to go out to eat. That's my favorite thing about LA. I try to go to 4 new restaurants a week. I wake up, smoke a little weed, see where I want to go. And sometimes you get to hear about restaurants no one's talking about. Like, you guys ever heard about naked sushi? So a restaurant puts down a naked woman, and you eat sushi off of their bodies. Yeah. Now, I've never done that, but I did wash my dishes with a bar of Old Spice once. Yeah. Yeah, and for a week, it tastes like I was eating dinner off my dad. What is this, an Irish Spring crowd? What's going on? Little Lever 2000. If you know what Lever 2000 soap is, you're broke as hell that it's garbage soap. You know it's bad when you pick up the bottle and it says it's for your body, hair, and car. It's like, I don't even think. Couldn't go out how to start Postmating Chipotle. That's a sad point in your life, isn't it? Chipotle's great if you want a burrito that's half room temperature, half freezing cold lettuce. More iceberg, please, Chipotle. Here's something I think we can all get behind. Can someone tell the employees of Chipotle how to roll a burrito? It's supposed to be cylindrical. Cylindrical. But every burrito I get shaped like a softball, and I gotta eat it like an apple. Every Chipotle burrito looks like a blonde girl with big shoulders from Arizona who's just underhand pitching it at me at 45 miles an hour. Oh, man. Tried to get spiritual lately. Anyone else? Did a little Joshua Tree trip? Yeah. Very LA. Very LA. I love it. I'm from Northern California. When we go camping, there are trees, maybe a water source, deers. When people in Southern California go camping, they go to a desert hellscape in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. It's 150 degrees and it's surrounded by snakes and spiders, and you take LSD and mushrooms. I didn't know that. I didn't. My buddy goes, hey, you want to take a desert drug trip? I go, fantastic. He brought LSD and mushrooms. I brought cocaine. Cocaine, not a camping drug. I don't know if you know that. It is hard to do blow in the wind. That's all I'm going to say. Just doing some knife hits trying to poop behind a cactus. We had different experiences. He said he talked to God. I thought the stars were following me. That's... North Star's a little too bright, if you ask me. I'm just gonna... From Sacramento, moved down to LA about 5 years ago. Love this area. Moved on to Hoover in Washington. Terrible neighborhood. I don't know who said that one. You can poop wherever you want, though, so that's fun. I haven't done it yet, but someone... It was a selling point for sure. I'm from Sacramento, California, which is the Cleveland of California. A lot of people don't know that. It's a wonderful place. When I moved here, I wanted to be like home, so I moved next to a Mexican supermarket. You guys ever been to a Mexican supermarket? Yeah, it's a lot like a normal supermarket. If like a normal supermarket had no rules at all. It's complete anarchy. There's no expiration dates on anything at all. I walked up to a piece of meat, picked it up. The date just said manana. I was like, oh, it's good though. I love my neighborhood, man. I love it because the burrito game is off the charts, right? That's the greatest thing about this city. But I've been eating too many burritos. I've been eating so many burritos, a Mexican family would be like, you should try Chinese food, man. There's other things you can eat besides a burrito for every meal. But I think a burrito is the perfect meal, right? You can eat it for every meal of the day, and it makes sense. But I feel like as a white guy, I should be eating more Sandwiches? What's our thing? Is it sandwiches? I think it's sandwiches, right? We're a sandwich race. But you can't eat a sandwich for every meal of the day. If you have it for breakfast, good. Lunch, perfect. But if you're eating a sandwich for dinner, something terrible happened pretty soon. I remember the first time I had a sandwich for dinner, I was in the 3rd grade. I was like, Dad, why are we having sandwiches for dinner? He was like, your mother left us, Stephen. We're gonna be eating a lot of sandwiches for dinner. You're the man of the house now. To me, Mexican people are like the Michael Jordan of food. You know what I mean? Greatest to ever do it, jerseys and the frickin' rafters. But just like when Michael Jordan got too cocky and went to baseball, Mexican people got too cocky and went to sweets and failed fucking terribly. That is... You ever had a Mexican donut? I ate one without looking, thought I was eating a plain hamburger bun. It's like, no sugar at all. Why are there so many flies in the case? Okay, we should. That's not good. I get it. I get why people would get mad at that, right? They go, Steve, you're dumb. You know what you're talking about. You ever had flan? I'm like, you think flan's gonna save you? Thing that's always near the register? If anything looked like it should always be refrigerated, I mean, it's sweating. I've never seen cake sweat before. People go, Steve, you're dumb. You know what you're talking about. You ever had Mexican candy? I'm like, yeah, Mexican candy. There's only one rule to candy. Don't make it spicy. You can do anything else. Shaped like a rock, shaped like a worm. Anytime someone gives me a piece of Mexican candy, I feel like they're playing a trick on me. I'm like, what flavor is this? He's like, mango. At first. And it's hotter than the devil's butthole, muchacho. Thank you guys very much. My name is Steve Furey. You got a hell of a show coming up.
This next comedian is someone I've known my entire career. He is a Comedy Store regular and favorite. Fun fact, he's also like a tennis pro, and he definitely helped me audition for a tennis movie one time and spent like an hour with me, and now I'm a tennis movie star. I didn't get the part, but he is so funny. You're going to love him. Put your hands together for my friend, Francisco Ramos.
So I do have an American accent, not this one. I have another one that I use when I need to, you know what I mean? Like when I go to Starbucks, I have to use it because they never understand my name, so I have to use my American accent. Like the other day I was there, the girl was like, hey, can I get your name? So I used my accent. I was like, my name is Francisco. And the girl's like, how do you spell that? It's like San Francisco, but without the San. And then I got the cup, and it said San Jose. I was like, is my cousin here? So I have a step dog and a step cat. They're my girlfriends, and we moved in together. And she's like, here are your babies. I was like, I want to see some DNA test. So now that I have a dog and a cat, I do have to say that I like dogs a bit better. I have to say that. Because dogs, I think they're better roommates for protection, you know what I mean? Because a dog, to me, is like having like a paranoid roommate. You know what I mean? They're always hearing stuff. Right? They always come out to you like, hey, man, I think I heard something in the back, man. You gotta call the cops, man! Like, they're always paranoid, right? They never want you to leave, like, hey, don't leave, man. It's dangerous out there. You're gonna die out there, man. That's why they're so surprised to see you. They think you die, every time you leave, and then when you come back, they're like, "What? You're alive, man! I thought you were gonna die." Look, we gotta call the cops, man. But I like that paranoia. I like that because cats, they don't care, right? Like a cat, like if you get robbed, a cat wouldn't know it happened, right? A cat to me is like having like a stoner roommate. Right, you get robbed, they just wake up like, "Dude, what happened to the TV, man? I didn't hear anything, and I was sleeping in the closet the whole day." My dog, my stepdog, is actually a rescue dog. His name is Stanley. Rescue dogs, I realize is a very American thing to rescue dogs. It is, and I think it's a great thing. I think most countries should do it. But rescue, because I didn't know that dogs needed to be rescued. I had no idea. I grew up in Venezuela, and I would see some dogs on the streets all the time. I never saw one dog going like, "Rescue me." No, they're outside going like, "I'm free. I can be right here." But here in the U.S., it's crazy. You never see one dog on the street, right? Like if after the show there's a dog wandering around by itself, the whole city shuts down, right? It's like, "Somebody call 911, there's a dog by itself. He doesn't know what to do." Get out of the way, homeless person. We need to save this dog. So like I mentioned, I have a girlfriend. She's from North Carolina, which is pretty cool because we're both from the South. I'm just from the deep South. So my girlfriend, she loves to do stuff that she did back in North Carolina that she wants to do with me now all the time. Like during last Halloween, she wanted to go to a pumpkin patch with me. Yeah, but I didn't grow up with the pumpkin patch. I don't know what the pumpkin patch is. But I was like, all right, let's go to the pumpkin patch. So we went to the pumpkin patch. You know what I realized about the pumpkin patch? It's just people taking pictures with a vegetable. That's pretty much it. It's a zoo for vegetables. And I didn't grow up with that concept because back in Venezuela, my dad never took me to the supermarket with a camera. Be like, "Hey, Francisco, stand next to the bananas." I was like, "What?" They're not ready. Which, by the way, that shows you what a first world country is, right? Right? To go to a field of food just to take pictures? That's amazing, right? I would love to take one of my cousins that are living in Venezuela right now and be like, "Look, we're going to go to the U.S. and I'm going to take you to a pumpkin patch." And my cousin's like, "Yeah, I'm starving. Let's go to the pumpkin patch." And we get there, and it's like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I'm like Willy Wonka. I'm like, "Come with me, and you'll be in a first world of pure gentrification." And my cousin's like, "Wow, so many pumpkins. I'm going to eat that one. Oh, I'm going to be those two over there." I'm like, No. We take pictures here, Charlie. But you can pick one pumpkin, and we can take that one home. Okay, I get it, because we eat it at home. No, we make a scary face out of it. Well, I don't get it. So when do we eat the pumpkin? Oh, we never eat the pumpkin. We let it rot outside. Welcome to the first world. My name is Francisco Ramos. Thank you guys very much. Have a great night. Thank you. Give it up for Iliza.
This woman coming to stage next is a friend of mine. I love her sense of humor because she's dark, she is funny, she has no filter. You are going to love her. Put your hands together for Nicole Aimee Schreiber!
You are a good-looking crowd. Everyone's so attractive. I'm just going to flirt with everybody the whole time. Because what comedy needs is a female predator. How's everyone's pandemic going? Good? You know, a lot of people were talking about how 2020 was really bad for mental health. And I was like, great for me. I didn't have to see my family for a year and a half. The holidays didn't happen, which was a blessing for all of us because we didn't have to see any of our friends and their families in matching pajamas. Anybody do that? I don't understand it because I'm a Jew. Are there any Jews here? Fucking yes. We've got industry. Perfect. I am in the market for an agent. Yeah, I don't, the whole matching pajama thing, my friends do that with their family, and I'm like, I don't get it. And they're like, what's not to get? I'm like, I'm a Jew, we don't do matching pajamas. The last time we did, it did not end well. It's bad, it's bad. My ancestors are rolling over in their graves over that one. They're mass graves. Oh my God. Oh. That last one's a little bit of a slow burn. How many Holocaust jokes does she have? 6 million, you guys. 6 million. You know, some people deny that I even have Holocaust jokes, so. Thank you very much. I'm a pretty messed up person, as you can tell. And that's mostly because of my mom. All moms are crazy, but my mom is a next level of crazy because she's a nudist. Anyone have a naked mom at home? No mommy titties? No mommy titties growing up? Yeah, that was a big one for me. Very naked all the time, and when you have a naked mom who's naked all the time and does everything naked, it gets weird when it comes time for you to get your ass beat, okay? Very hard to dodge a punch and 2 titties, you know? It's like fighting an octopus, really. It's like, do you bob? Do you weave? You know, you slip that punch and then the titty just hooks you. I had no idea my mom was a southpaw. It was kind of crazy. Speaking of titties, where my big boobies at? Wow, we got not a lot of titties here. I'm a big fan of boobs. I love boobs. This is a padded bra from Forever 21, because my boobs are Forever 14. Big boobs are the best. I don't care if you're gay, straight, male, female, or whatever else we have. You're never gonna see a big set of titties coming down the street and be like, Frown Town. Those are a bummer. No, you see big titties and then they're joyful. They're just, you just want to curl up with them. I hate it when girls with big boobs complain about it. Is anyone complaining about it? I hate it when there's just ungrateful pigs out there in the world. Those horrible women who are like, oh, my back hurts. I'm like, all right, well, go lay down, Erica. Save some attention for the rest of us. And then they're like, no, you don't understand. It's so annoying. Guys never listen to what I'm saying. And I'm like, what did you say? Nobody cares. While we're on the topic of boobs, I just want to get this out of the way. Motorboating, guys. We need to stop it. Sir, have you ever motorboated someone? Absolutely. You're a real jerk, just so you know that. I don't understand where men got the idea to do this. Like, why? What are you trying to accomplish? Just so you know, never in the history of womankind has one woman said to another, oh my God, Jenny, you are not gonna believe what Jim did to me last night. He took his face, he put it between my breasts, and then he blew bubbles. Oh my God, I had no idea my sternum had a clit. But there I was, just squirting all over the place. Best orgasm I've ever had. That's never happened, guys. No woman wants that. And also, you definitely can't motorboat me. You'll bottom out on the lake bed. Have you bottomed out on a lake bed before, sir? boobs are great. Women are just kind of magical. Boobs, no boobs, we're just kind of magical, mystical creatures, and I really love that about us. Thank you. Thank you. I was really pandering to the women in the audience, so thank you. I appreciate that. I think we're like witches, and I mean that in the best way possible. Because if we're not witches, then can you explain to me why if we spend more than 1 month together, we all get our period at the same time? That's like witch shit. It's not like we discuss it. It's not like I'm like, Erica, Renee, Becky, on 3, let's bleed. There's no discussion of it, ever. Never. But like right now, at this very moment, every single lady body in the room is sending out an Underground Railroad message to every other lady in the room. It's like, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Right now, our uteruses are just reaching out for each other, joining hands. And they're like, Red Rover, Red Rover. Don't send anyone over. Unless they have dark chocolate. Like, that's witch shit. That is witchery, you know? What happens if men spend a month together? What, you start a fantasy football league? Yeah, we make people inside our body. That's fucking magical. I love it when men are like, you know, we're 50% of the equation, and I'm like, you're bad at math. Oh, you show up to a cookie making party with a stick of butter, and we have the rest of the ingredients in the oven to make the cookies. Maybe just like pump the brakes with your condiment. It's melting, you know? I'll leave you with this, speaking of a melting condiment. There's this awful rumor going around that pineapple is supposed to make a man's taste better. I'm trying to do this joke without saying the word cum, but cum. Have you heard this rumor? It's a horrible rumor. Rumors are started by people who directly benefit from them. And I've thought long and hard about this one in particular, and I figured out who came up with this rumor. It was the CEO of Dole Pineapple. 1 quarter, sales were down, and he was like, big meeting, corporate meeting. He's like, what are we gonna do, guys? What are we gonna do? There's a creepy guy, Joe, in accounting. He's like, I have an idea. Joe got fired, but they ran with it. And just so you know, the only way a man's cum is ever gonna taste better because of pineapple is if it's literally served on a piece of pineapple, and then we brush it all off. And then we throw it on the ground because we don't want to swallow any more of your lies. Thanks, guys. I'm Nicole Aimee Schreiber. Bye!
This next woman is a part of the Comedy Store family, and I asked the manager of the Comedy Store if she had any comics that she liked, and this woman was one of them, so I went downtown to catch her doing a set, and it's the only time I haven't regretted a trip downtown. She's very funny. Please put your hands together for Logan Guntzelman.
Oh, it's so nice to be performing in front of real people again. I spent a lot of the past year doing corporate Zoom comedy shows. Your response is correct. That's the correct response. They were so bad. One was so terrible. For the first half of the show, we thought that everyone had their microphones turned off. No, they were on. They just weren't laughing at all. And one guy watching, he kept checking his phone. So another comic on the show started asking him, he's like, what's so important? What are you looking at on your phone? Show everyone your phone. So he finally showed everyone his phone, and this guy was looking at LinkedIn. This show is so bad, this guy was looking for a new fucking job. So yeah, it's nice to be here. It's also nice to be traveling more, but I realize I do not know how to travel like a normal person. I was going through TSA, and the TSA lady was checking the waistband of my jeans, and she had her hands in the waistband of my jeans, and I thought that that was a good time to tell her that I liked the way her perfume smelled. not a good time. One thing that happened, there was a teenage girl in line ahead of me at security, and they stopped her to search her backpack because something went off in the machine. And so the TSA guy, he searched around it, and he pulled out the thing that went off, and it was a magic 8-ball. This is totally true. And he told her, he was like, well, technically this is a blunt object, and it could be used as a weapon, so I'm not sure if you can bring it in your carry-on, and I need to go get my supervisor. So they brought over like 2 or 3 more TSA agents. They were all looking at this magic 8-ball, trying to decide what to do. And I was in line behind her, losing my mind, because I was like, just ask the magic 8-ball. You guys are fun. I've been around a lot of comedy audiences, not just for stand-up. I was a waitress in a comedy club for a really long time. And you guys might think, just based on the media and what you've seen about the world we live in, you might think that the worst hecklers are middle-aged straight men. But I can tell you for a fact that is not true. The worst hecklers by far are female teachers on a night out. They all order Chardonnay and they get mouthy. That's what they do. And every now and again, I'll be saying this, and there'll be a woman in the back, and she'll yell out, she'll be like, I'm a teacher, and I'm drinking whiskey. I'm like, well, then you are a middle school teacher. That's how we know what you're drinking. Are you guys drinking? Are people drinking? Yeah? Do you guys know that drink White Claw? You familiar? White Claw, yeah, it's named after the kinds of hands that hold it. Do you guys? What pisses me off about White Claw is it's trendy now for alcohol to be healthy. Like it's not bad for you, it's a seltzer. There are all these hard seltzers, and they've got vodka with electrolytes in it now. And everyone's on board, and no one was on board when I was in college, and I offered them my homemade sangria, which was just red wine mixed with emergency. And I could get on Shark Tank with that now. I would like to be on Shark Tank. It'd be nice to make a little extra money. I'm a very broke person. Very broke. I go to Coinstar a lot. Are you guys familiar? Yeah. Do you guys think that this would be a good slogan for Coinstar? Coinstar, be poor loudly. Thank you for applauding Coinstar. It's the only applause Coinstar's ever received. So I was so desperate for work a little bit ago that I was like willing to do any job. So I applied to be a cater waiter because I think a job seems more fun if it rhymes. That pretty much did it. And I found the job on Craigslist. So the entire application process was done via text message. And the lady was like, could you text me any of your relevant work experience, and could you also text me a photo of yourself? Because I guess you need a cater waiter to be like at least a 6 or something. I don't know. So I did, and she responded, all right, we'll call you tomorrow to hammer out the details. And then she texted me a photo of herself. And I do think it would have been fun if I'd responded, you know what, actually, I don't want the job. I don't want the job. I don't want it. Thanks, one guy in the back. Okay, I've been thinking about this thing that happened. Maybe you guys can help me. When I was in middle school, okay, I was walking on campus, and I was walking towards a door, and I was reaching out to pull open the door. But as I was reaching out, a girl inside the building pulled the door open first, but my arm was already going up in the air. So what ended up happening was I just put all of my fingers in her mouth. Just like right in there. And I think about her like once a month. Do you guys think she thinks about me ever? I'll confess a couple other things. I made the mistake of hooking up, having sex with one of my ex-boyfriends a little bit ago, which would have been bad enough, but he had recently decided to bleach his hair and his eyebrows. Have any of you guys ever been having sex with someone and the entire time they look surprised? Is that... I was also surprised. It also might be surprising to find out that I'm straight. I know that everything about me suggests some sort of gray area. But I'm not gay, not bi. I tried, it didn't take. Because I think when you grow up with a female friend named September, like by law, you have to experiment with her sexually, so. That's how I figured that one out. Me and September, we grew up actually not far from here in this, it's part of LA County. It's a place called Chatsworth, California. Yeah, one person just went, oh, yeah. which makes sense. It's the porn capital of the world, so you just told us a lot about you, miss. It is the porn capital of the world. It was featured pretty prominently in the most recent Tarantino movie. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's this part where Brad Pitt, he goes to this creepy ranch where a bunch of young girls are banging this old blind guy. And honestly, it was just nice to see my community represented in the media. It was cool. Oh, you guys are so fun. Thank you so much.
This next girl has been hustling for years. She is hilarious, and I'm so proud to have an LA comic like this on our lineup. Put your hands together for Jessica Michelle Singleton. How you doing, guys? We're still going? Yeah, give it up if you're depressed, huh? Yeah, give it up. That's what my mom says. Give it up.
I am depressed. Don't feel bad for me. Feel bad for my friends. What a burden for them, huh? Yeah, anyone else chronically depressed before the pandemic and then you became a weird depression guru for all your friends who had never been sad? Oh, it's just really hard. Yeah, no shit. Remember all the calls you ignored? I had to teach my friends. I had to teach them the etiquette. No, you get one day. Depressed people know this. You get one day. And that is if you got a really close friend. You can unload and be honest, and they will be there for you. For one day. But if the next day you call up that same friend and they're like, how you doing? And you go, I'm still depressed. They're gonna be like, all right, what do you want from me? Could you not talk about your depression so much? It's really bumming me out. My depression bums you out. That's crazy. Yeah, you know what bums me out? Everything. I'm depressed. People say things if they think you're depressed, right? They'll be like, I'm always here for you. Call at any time. Not a close friend, because then you might actually call, and it's like, let me live. But a man who works 5 offices down from you that you've never spoken to will send you a Facebook message in the middle of the night and be like, I'm always here for you. If you need anyone at any hour, call me. You can't do that. You can't call Charles from accounting at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday. I mean, you can, but he's not going to answer, and he's going to report you to HR, trust me. Also, what do you do if that guy does answer? Hey, Chuck, I know it's late, sorry. How are the kids? Oh, me? It's kind of a funny story. I'm thinking about killing myself, Chuck. Right? You can't say that. Some people are laughing, a couple people are tense because like, oh my God, she's talking about suicide, which you can't do because people are like, oh, it's a cry for help, which is ridiculous because if you help me, that's homicide. Also, if you even say you've thought about killing yourself and you don't immediately try to kill yourself, for the rest of your life, everybody you know is going to be like, oh my God, she's so dramatic. For the rest of your life, right? You can go on antidepressants, go to a therapist, you can go to a psych ward and get a full evaluation printed out and be like, actually, I'm fine. It says it right here. And everyone will go, uh-huh. Yeah, good for you, buddy. Hang in there. Don't hang. Just keep on keeping on. Because people who don't have mental illness, they're not around mental illness, they don't understand it's an illness, right? It's like your brain has a cold or whatever fucking stupid memes you have to send to your friends. Like, okay. But we don't treat mental illness the way we treat physical illness. No one's ever like, Yeah, Jim's a cool guy, but between you and me, he got the flu pretty bad in the 90s, so keep an eye on him. You don't get the bullshit advice with a physical illness you get if you have a mental illness like depression. People go, you just gotta get outside. Just get some sunshine, you'll be fine. You'd never say that to your friend with cancer. No, just get outside, get some sunshine. I have melanoma. Oh. Well, have you tried just not having cancer? Which sounds insane, right? But if you're depressed long enough, eventually one of your friends goes, well, just don't be. And then you have to go, oh, I forgot, I'm also a stupid idiot. Thank you, I'm cured. So then your friends are calling you like, oh, you're still depressed, and you're just lying because you have guilt on top of your depression. You're just like, no, I'm at the corner of happy and healthy. But you're just walking around a Walgreens in the same robe that you've been wearing for a month. And they're like, ma'am, you have to quit coming here and eating the nail polish. And you're like, this is all I have right now. This is just a bit. You guys don't have to come up to me after the show and ask if I'm okay. I'm not, but it's not gonna help, you know? If it's cathartic for you because you're also depressed, you're like, oh, I get it, I hear her, I'm glad, that's why I started talking about it, but please don't send me an email about your depression. I can't help you. Talk to somebody, don't suffer in silence. Do what I do, speak up, make everybody around you suffer too. No, that's the instinct, right? You're like, oh, I should reach out to my other depressed friend. It's just gonna become a weird suicide pact. I'm like, you free Tuesday? Let's jump together in the nude. They'll think we were lovers, you know? By the way, PSA, since I started on hardcore mental health stuff for my set, if anyone needs it, just so you know, you can actually see a licensed therapist 100% free right now anywhere in America. So just so you guys know that. Yeah, so if you're struggling, yeah. You don't have to have insurance. You don't even have to have an appointment. You can just go into any therapist's office and just go, help! Someone will see you. Like, come on in, sit down. That's what I'm a white woman. We treat them like they're auto mechanics for our emotions. Like, do you have duct tape for my soul? Do you have a pill to make me happy? Please. I did. I went to a therapist. She's like, well, sit down. Tell me about your life and your childhood. And I was like, well, right, here we go. When I was 8, my dad abandoned me in a Waffle House, which is true. Thank you for laughing. It's also pretty sad. I'm honestly more of a pancake person, but what are you gonna do, you know? He was a meth head. Nobody knew, you know, because he was fat and a meth head. Like, well, how are you both? Pick an addiction. What are you, eating the meth? What the fuck? You don't know. You don't know your parents are fucked up. As a kid, whatever your parents did, you thought that's what they did. And if your dad was a meth head, you weren't like, my dad has a drug addiction. You were like, my dad is the most fun dad in the whole town. He put together a trampoline in the middle of the night last night, and we got on it with pogo sticks. Never mind. Fun man, he's dead. What can you do? Fat meth head, it'll get you. One of the two things. We've all got vices. We've all got them. Everyone's just shuffling. You try to get clean, you end up moving to something else. I remember my mom got sober. She just started chugging coffee out of these 50-ounce trucker big gulp mugs. Just like, gotta get a buzz somehow, kids! She should be on the high school football game sideline screaming at players. I wasn't in high school. I was 7. She just wanted something to yell at, you know? Mine are food and sex. I realized recently I'm actually just shoving things into both holes, trying to keep the feelings tucked in. Just cupcakes, dicks. I'm not sad. Also dicks, and sometimes cupcakes. Fuck it. I'm gonna get a yeast infection anyway. In this heat, might as well get a sugar rush, you know? I gotta feel something down there. When is the sexual peak for women? I'm so fucking scared. I had 2 vibrators die this week. Not the batteries, by the way, the vibrators. One went up in flames. It's like, you're on your own, bitch. Get a hobby. I can't. I'm scared. I've had girlfriends a little bit older than me the last couple years. They tried to warn me. They're like, just wait. Wait until you get to your 30s. You're going to get so much hornier. At which point a woman in her 40s always seems to pop up and is like, wait till you get to your 40s! Like, who are you? How did you get in my home? Why are you bleeding? She's just thrown herself through a window. She's covered in cum and shards of glass for some reason. I need a dick. Why are you tapping your veins? I gotta take him intravenously now. I blew my pussy out in a gangbang 2 years ago. Oh my God. I am so sorry, don't be. It was the greatest night of my life. I can't get hornier. Someone's gonna die. Probably me. I have rheumatoid arthritis now, so sometimes when I'm on top of a guy, my hips and my knees just lock up. And I have to be like, I hit the button. And the guy's always like, your clit. And I have to be like, no, my life alert. Like, it's fucked. Does anyone else have that where your legs just go like you fucking... They're just now they're just starting to give out. I need breaks when I'm on top. And any other woman just have your legs, you're just like, no, I just gotta straighten them out for a minute. Just for a minute. And men don't stop having sex with you while you're like, just let me stretch. And I'm like, oh, yeah. It's terrible because I'm trying to own my sexuality, right? Like, I've always been sexually liberal, which is a PC way of saying I've been a slut for a long time. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to own it. I'm like, yeah, let's fuck my knee. Fuck, I need a seat. I gotta take a hot, sexy seat. That's fun when you're trying to hook up with it. I'm gonna take a painkiller. Here's what we're gonna do. You see if you can make me come before I pass out, huh? Not a game anyone wants to play in 2021. No, I'm literally consenting, please. You're not gonna deny a dying woman her wish. Are you? And nothing gets a guy harder than you being like, please. It could be my last time around the sun, you know? And doggy style used to be a challenge purely from an arm strength perspective. You know what I mean? Anyone in here, have you been done from behind? We got a minute and a half, 2 minutes before you're at least like, come on. It feels good because we're all strong, independent. We want it to end before we go from full plank to half plank. Like, and then you just start sort of like trying to get your butt higher, like, make it end. And that's a position where it usually goes quickly. So then if it goes too long, I get in my head like, no, my pussy's gone bad. They're gonna send me out to sea. So then I'll try to clinch and make it tighter. You know how you can clinch and make it tighter? You know what I'm talking about, right? She's like, yeah, the old nutcracker, I got it. But my ass is already so flat, so then when I clinch, it looks like my butthole's like sucking my body in like a black hole. Oh, it's the end. And that's not gonna make a guy come harder, so then I'm trying to stick it out. But you can't do both, so I start curving. I'm like, do you like that? Do you like how it looks like I have scoliosis? Is that fun for you? And those are like the glory days. Now I have like 10 seconds before it's a full collapse, which also men don't stop fucking you. If you've never collapsed in doggy style, nothing better could happen to a straight man, because they're like, I did that with my dick! Yeah, I killed her! And by the way, no one I'm fucking is a professional athlete. Surprise, surprise, didn't nab one of the Lakers with this sparkling personality of mine. So now I've collapsed, he's lost me as a crutch, and he's getting weaker, and now his hairy dad bod is mushing into my back fat, creating a weird sweat pool, and I'm trapped, lodged under this man, like, this is it. This is how I die. With a man's nipples just in my eye. And then it just makes that, like, tanning bed salon fart noise from the, like, and I'm trapped wondering, is that my back or my pussy? I don't know. Not a fun place to be as a woman. Because as a lady, you queef, and the instinct is, well, I have to leave the planet now. Call my pussy Doge boys, we're going to the moon. And look, at this point, the therapist was like, all right, let's take a breath. And then I'll finish here, right here on the stage. Just, oh yeah. The therapist said to me, a licensed therapist said to me, you're not depressed. You've had a terrible life. This is a normal emotional response. Thank God. Oh, I thought I was one of those crazy depressed people, right? It's like, get outside. Is there a pill for that? You have any drugs for a bad life? I'll try heroin. One last thing. I tried group therapy. Don't do that. Group therapy is like the Kentucky Derby of who had it the worst, right? The therapist comes in and sits down, and then it's just like, and they're off. Coming out first is a gay man with Republican parents, guy born with no legs, set in the face. Young black male in America's coming around from the outside, touched by an uncle's coming in from the inside. Is even considered being molested if the relatives hot, or it's just like, ooh, this is naughty. It's like, yeah, he's my uncle. But it looks like David Beckham, and he's a doctor. Never mind, I'm not gonna get a guy that good. And the winner is Pfizer, probably. The real winner is the therapist who's like, I don't know if you're mentally ill, but come back twice a week for the rest of your life. I want to get a yacht. Sorry. I don't even think I'm depressed. I think I'm bipolar because I have like really low lows and then just super high lows. You guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Iliza.
You guys, thank you so much for coming out to support me, to support these comics. This is what the LA comedy scene is all about. Coming out, taking a chance on a comic you haven't heard of, and then watching them blow up, and their tickets are so expensive that you can't go see them anymore. But I think LA makes the best comics in the world. I'm a product of the LA comedy scene, and I am so proud to have presented these comics to the world and to you guys tonight. So thank you so much.